Hey, everybody, welcome to the True Crime Squad. I'm Christy Brower, here with my sister, co host, and partner in crime and now glasses, Katie Weaver. Hey, Katie.
I'm so torn. They help and some they kind of don't. I don't know what to do. I'm in a weird glasses space.
Just
Hello.
have to get used to them. How's it going?
It's going good. We went to see the new Aquaman today. It was fun.
Wow.
And yeah, I have no complaints. We're
Well,
staying
glad to
so
hear it.
weirdly warm. And
Yeah,
I don't want to
well,
complain because it's nice, but
it's about to start snowing tomorrow and snow for 5 days. So,
oh,
we don't have a lot to. We don't have a lot of time left before we're going to get hammered, it
mm,
looks like. I was just looking at the forecast.
that's really unfortunate because the pigs have actually been out sunning themselves every day.
Oh, wow.
If it's
Yeah,
like
we've
in the
had a warm
30s, they're out
winter and
laying on
hardly
the
any
fence.
snow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's nice.
it is. It's a good reprieve for
Well,
them because they get
they're
so
going to be
bored and
sad.
naughty in the house. I'm gonna be sad.
Y'all, it's a trip to go to Katie's house and just watch the pigs. I mean, you could just sort of watch them the whole time.
Mhm.
They get on this big dog bed together, and I call them yin and yang because one's white and one's black, and they lay in like this circle together.
Mhm.
And then your female Fiona, she lays there and she grunts and grumbles and squeals and for no reason at all. Like she's just laying there next to her brother.
Yep.
Nobody's even touching her. And
Just
she is pissed for reasons only she knows.
yep. Sound asleep, and she'll make this noise every
Mm.
so often too. It's so funny. The noises they make, but at meal times, the noises they make, the
Oh my
squealing,
gosh.
Zig, our little male, is the worst for it. Because you go to get their dishes, and fill their water, and their waterers are both 2 gallons, so it takes a long time for them to fill, and you don't have to fill them
Yeah,
every day, but when it is time to fill them, it takes a little while,
sure.
and I don't want to feed them till their water's full because they require quite a bit of water to eat their food. They get big
Hmm.
mouthfuls of water and spit it into their feed dish and
Oh.
kind of make mash. It's just they've always been like that. I don't know if other pigs
Hmm.
do that, but mine do. Anyway, but when it's time to feed them, my hell, the sounds that come out of Zig, the whole time you're filling both of those waterers, you would think you were dragging him off to market the way he squeals and runs around. It is crazy.
Well, you better stay out of the way too,
Mhm.
or you are getting flattened
Mhm.
and
You
trampled.
you don't want a hoof to the toe. I
Mm.
promise.
Oh, I bet not.
It hurts a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you might think this is a channel about pigs, but it's actually a true crime channel. So today's
It could
Tuesday.
be.
If you're watching this on the day we recorded it, it could be any other day of the week if it wasn't. But, um, we're going to kick this off. Katie, you've got a little creepy crime for us.
Yeah. Ever since Craigslist came into existence, there's always been
Hmm.
a bit of a safety concern, right? When you go to purchase something, and there have been plenty of like Craigslist style stalkings and murders and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we get to feeling a little too safe, though I don't think that this person did anything wrong per se. Uh, this is a case of a Facebook Marketplace meetup gone wrong.
Oh.
So we're talking about a young man named hmm, Carazana Ricardo.
Okay.
And Carazana he was 18, high school student, and was going to potentially buy a car. He and a friend drove to another town to consider purchasing a car. And they were buying the car from a man named Marques Harris. Marques Harris, who was also 18. And apparently, at some point through their interaction, Ricardo decided he did not want to buy the car. And so they got in their car to drive away.
Hmm.
And so Harris just pulled out a gun and shot him.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
Because he didn't want to buy the car?
Apparently.
Holy crap.
Hmm. And
That is
then
terrifying.
fled, of course. When the police got there, uh, Carazana Ricardo was on his face in the road
Oh my God.
and died at the shock trauma center at the University of Maryland. It's a miracle that his friend
Wow.
lived through this.
Yeah.
They the friend fired multiple rounds at the car, and the friend grabbed the wheel of the car. Carazano was actually driving and
Oh,
managed to.
jeez.
Eventually, the car crashed while he was trying to get help, and then he pulled him out of the car.
Hmm.
At any rate, yeah, shot and killed because he didn't buy the car, apparently.
Oh, God. I mean, we really are living in a world of we have no idea
Yeah,
who we're interacting with online.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I mean, how terrifying. How often have we all? I don't know. I know we have. You have
sure,
test driven a car somebody was selling, or sold a car, or we just sold a van
right.
last month. You know,
On
like
Marketplace. Yeah,
on marketplace. Yeah,
yeah,
terrifying that you
right.
don't know who's coming to your house, and you also don't know whose house you're going to if you're
Yeah.
going to
I
look at a
don't
car or
believe this was
something.
at a house. I think they met up in a public place, actually.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was a very extreme reaction.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's really sad.
Yeah. It's terrible. And his family and community and high school are all just absolutely devastated by the loss. And for what? Because he didn't want to buy your dumb car? My God. Yeah, it's just very sad. But,
It is.
unfortunately, and again, I don't think that Carazano did anything wrong at all. He did not. He also brought a
No.
friend with him. I always say in situations like this, you should never go alone, but he
Yeah.
didn't. And I think the friend's just lucky to walk out of it alive because there were multiple rounds
So
fired at the
lucky.
car. He was also driving and the car crashed. I mean, a lot of things could have gone wrong here, wronger here that didn't, but oh,
Wow.
so be diligent, my friends.
Yeah, no kidding.
This world is wild. So, with that, I'm going to kick it back over to you for our very wild main case.
Yes. We're going to talk today about the murder of Savannah Soto and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this case for a while, but hesitant to cover it because there was so much bullshit and misinformation that we didn't want to give you information that isn't correct or isn't real. This
Hmm.
has been one of those cases that social media has just taken and run with to
Hmm.
the point that it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is Savannah, beautiful Savannah, 18 years old, and due to have a baby at literally any moment. She went missing on December 22nd, which was very concerning because Savannah was a week overdue with her pregnancy and was due that day at a very important medical appointment to have her baby induced. And Savannah didn't show up to the appointment.
Yeah.
And everybody in Savannah's life was like, holy shit, what has happened? Where
Hmm.
is she? What is going on?
Yeah.
Well, it turned out that the other person who was also missing was her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra. And here's the thing about Matthew: people initially suspected Matthew
Hmm.
because there's a long history of domestic violence in this relationship, including a civil protection order and some charges against Matthew in the past, and
Hmm.
neighbors reporting current actual physical abuse going on. So there was a concern initially that Savannah may actually have been kidnapped by him or something bad had happened to her
Hmm.
at his hand. Well, last Thursday, so between Christmas and New Year's, the bodies of Savannah and Matthew were found in Matthew's car. both with gunshot injuries to the head.
Mhm.
They had been deceased for several days when the car was found, and Savannah's baby did not survive.
No.
It's an incredibly just shocking and sad and terrifying murder. I mean,
Mhm.
when is a woman more vulnerable than when
Right.
she is about to give birth to a baby?
Mhm.
And we've covered, unfortunately, way too many cases of murders
Yeah.
of pregnant women who are like at the end of their pregnancy.
Yeah.
There were fears that Savannah maybe had been kidnapped in order to steal her child.
Right.
There were a lot of rumors
Mhm.
and
A lot of
a lot of stuff.
speculation.
Yeah, a lot of speculation that was sort of getting passed off as fact, and none of those things were true.
No.
The police now have identified this as homicide in both cases. Well, in all three cases,
Yeah.
that will be a capital murder case, including the first degree murder of Savannah's baby.
Well, Matthew had been tortured, right?
Well, no. The official statement right now is that they both had gunshot wounds to the head, very close range gunshot
Okay.
wounds to the head. There are other things going around,
Mhm.
but there's no official statement of autopsy reports and that kind of thing
Sure.
yet.
Okay.
So there's questions because there's been a lot of rumor that Matthew was dealing drugs
Mhm.
and that this had something to do with what he was doing, and that it was related. We don't know if that is the case. What we
Mhm.
do know is that police actually have a surveillance video that
Mhm.
does show a vehicle, a pickup truck, with two assailants in it.
Mhm.
And so they now have a vehicle description and they know that they're looking for two men.
Mhm.
Now, today on TikTok, somebody came out with a photo and the name of a man who has been arrested in this case.
Oh.
That has not been reported publicly by the police
Oh.
or in any way verified. And you know how we are. We're very careful. We don't go with rumors. We try really hard to only ever
Yeah.
report things that we know for sure have been verified on multiple news sites,
Mhm.
that have been verified by law enforcement. We want to tell you things that we know for a fact are true.
Yeah.
I can find nowhere that indicates that this individual has been arrested. Maybe he's been questioned, that we do not know.
Mhm.
All we know from the police is they have a video. I was going to show you the video, but the video is so hard to see. It doesn't tell you very much. You see a
Mhm.
vehicle, a pickup truck, pull up next to the car, and you
Wow.
see two individuals there, and
Mhm.
then you see the pickup pull away, and that's really all you see.
Wow.
But at least it's something that police have
Yeah.
a description. I believe they have a license plate, and that they know that there were two assailants. So,
Mhm.
likely arrests are coming, charges are coming. There is
Mhm.
definite progress in this case, but that's where we're going to leave it right now. We're recording this on
Mhm.
January 2nd at 8:20 p.m. Mountain, so do not at me in 2 weeks. Remember how the internet works, okay? Please remember how the internet works. We will continue to update this case in our case update,
Yeah.
sure, and do another episode if there's
If
information
it
that warrants
warrants
another
it. Yeah.
episode. But we will certainly be keeping an eye because this is such a tragedy. Savannah's
Oh.
family and Matthew's family, they are heartbroken.
Well, and
Um,
Savannah has a brother that was murdered not that long ago.
yeah, there's someone
This
on
poor
trial for Savannah's
family.
murder, Savannah's brother's murder right now. That
My
trial is going
God.
on right now. So
Boy,
yeah,
this
they've
family's had a lot of
been through a
tragedy.
lot. Yeah, they have. So this is a
Mm.
huge loss for them. And so much love to Matthew's family and Savannah's family.
Mhm.
And we will keep you posted when information that we know is true and
It's
accurate
verified. Yeah.
is verified. But it went from she's missing to now at least they know what's happened to her and where he is as well, and that he was
Mhm.
in fact not to blame, but a victim as well.
Can you imagine
And
how terrifying for her family? This girl who
had to
was
have been
supposed to be
horrifying.
in the hospital having her baby just in the
Was
wind.
missing.
Yeah.
The every possibility is bad in that situation
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's no way in hell that if she had any control to do so, that she wouldn't
Mhm.
have shown up for that appointment. She was definitely showing up for that
Absolutely,
appointment,
or showing up to some appointment somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, showing up somewhere. My gosh,
Mhm.
she was a week overdue. Yeah, it's
Mm,
terrifying. And I feel bad for Matthew's family too because he was immediately identified as potentially the perpetrator in this
sure,
situation. And
sure.
we
Oh,
know
it
there's
gave me
history
pause,
there, but
I'll
mhm,
admit that, it gave me pause with their
yeah,
history and just with the history in this country of domestic
right,
violence and double homicides and stuff.
for sure.
Yeah, but
But now we know no, they were both victims. They were killed,
mhm,
they believe, at the same time. And, we've yet to hear exactly what motive is, and we probably won't know that until, perpetrators are actually arrested and there's a
mhm,
lot more information put out. So we're
yeah,
not going to contribute to the rumor mill. We're just going to tell you what we know for sure right now,
yeah,
and
and
we will
hopefully
tell you
some arrest
more when we know
affidavits
more.
at some point will
Yeah,
solve some, mysteries for all of us. Yeah,
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Yeah.
yeah.
And with that, Katie, I'm going to kick the mic back to you for some WTF news.
It's the new year, and there's
Mhm.
sometimes kind of a new year, new you kinda attitude?
Right, right, yes.
So this gentleman right here, he had that attitude too. He's a minister or preacher at Elevated
Okay.
Life International Ministries,
Okay.
North Dakota, and he's been getting really excited for the new year. He's posted a lot of things on his church's, social media and website. He's one of his New Year message to his congregation said, he's talked about leaving the old mentality behind you and embracing the newness of life that's in front of you. He
Mm.
told his parishioners, don't be scared of taking a chance on something new when you know the old way of doing things is not working. And he's got a lot of healing videos on his church website for spiritual healing of the flesh, and said that he's got a new video coming soon about vexation, disappointment, and suffering. He's had a lot to say, a lot to say. Uh, Unfortunately, he also turned over a new leaf of some sort. Just a couple of days ago, his wife, Latoya, gave him a call from the McDonald's that she was managing and let
Mhm.
him know that these damn kids are disrespecting me. These staff members are disrespecting me. And
Oh.
he couldn't have that.
I would
So he
imagine that
went
happens to
to
managers at McDonald's on a regular basis.
so he went to her McDonald's. He took a young man in a chokehold, drug him over to the fryer, and tried to baptize him in hot boiling grease.
Oh my god.
Okay, I made up the baptizing part. But yeah, he
But basically, wow.
tried to put this young man's head in the fryer.
My god.
Also punched him in the face multiple times. And employees had to literally drag him off of this kid to save him. He had to go to the hospital for his injuries, all
Oh
the while
no.
that our genius pastor was hauled off to jail. So Dwayne,
Yikes.
I think you better give up your day job here because you turned over the wrong new leaf. You turned the wrong cheek,
Yeah.
and you're going to jail. So,
I mean, I guess that is one way to really shake up your life.
mm-hmm,
Dummy,
mm-hmm.
what are you thinking, man? Whew. That's
New
terrifying.
year, new you, Dwayne. I don't know what to say.
Well, you're getting an all new wardrobe. That's for sure.
It's true.
You're not going to like it, and it's probably not going to be flattering at all, but you will get all new clothes.
So he is
You'll get to
doing
wear someone
court,
else's underwear, probably.
probably.
Gross.
Yeah, he's doing court on the 22nd, and McDonald says, Latoya, we never heard of her. She
What?
doesn't work there anymore.
Yeah, I bet. Oh boy. I mean, this was not the way, man.
I'm not
Boy,
sure what this guy was thinking.
no.
Now, I don't know. Maybe this is just who he actually is, but it's
Right.
wild to me that he had all of this stuff going on his socials and his website, and writing out his New Year's message, telling everybody, you can leave the past behind, you can leave the stuff that doesn't work behind and start fresh. And the way he started fresh was putting himself in jail.
Trying to kill a kid by baptizing him in the fryer at McDonald's. Wow.
Thank God he
Yikes.
wasn't successful. Can you imagine?
No. I mean, I cannot. I mean, I can't imagine that someone would survive that. I mean, I would kind of hope that they wouldn't, because
Right.
those burns would be so
Oh, yeah.
horrific that,
In all seriousness, that would be the absolute worst. And
mm,
disfiguring to his face.
oh,
Oh,
so
my God.
terrible.
Awful. So I think jail is right exactly where this guy belongs. But
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
that's a pretty wild story. It's always at McDonald's. If it's not at McDonald's, it's at Walmart.
I know. We have so many McDonald's
And
and
if it's
Walmart
not at
stories.
McDonald's or Walmart, apparently it's at a Waffle House. We don't have Waffle House, so I can't say that personally, but we've covered a lot
Right.
of crazy Waffle House stories.
We have, yes. Yes, we have. That is true. That is very true. Well, we learned a whole lot about what not to do today,
Mhm. I have
I
one more
think.
very brief story. It wasn't a big enough thing to make a story out of, but I think it should be mentioned because it is really wild.
Let's hear it.
This is a story from News Nation, and this is a statement that was made from a UK agency that said that that soon rape and murder committed in the metaverse will be a punishable crime.
Whoa.
hmm They said if you're wearing a full haptic suit and somebody were to murder you or sexually assault you in the metaverse, you would certainly feel that and experience some of that to some degree.
Would at least be an assault of some sort.
Yeah, and so they are working
Wow.
on writing laws to protect people from that kind of crime, even in the metaverse.
Virtual crime. Wow. That is a first.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so too.
I
Pretty wild, right?
After the cyber kidnapping case we covered yesterday,
hmm
and now virtual assault. Wow.
I was reading a little more about that today, about some other instances of that happening. Whew.
Scary stuff, man. Please be careful out there.
Mhm.
Make sure you know who you're talking to, and if you don't go anywhere near them, because you really don't know who you're talking to.
Trust no one, my lord.
Right?
I would really hate that
Yikes.
that's the world we're living in, but boy, it is.
Yeah, we just all got to be smart. And as you know, see something, say something.
Absolutely, always. Yep.
Well, thank you all for being here. It's Tuesday. We'll be back with another episode on Wednesday, plus our Wednesday night case updates live stream that happens at 7 p.m. Mountain on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page.
hmm
And starting this week, it will also be streaming on Twitter and Instagram, because that's a new
Yeah.
thing that
hmm
our streaming provider offers. So, hey, we're going to stream further and wider, and we'll
Love it.
have more updates on everything, plus all the other cases we follow. So,
Absolutely.
you know it. We are the True Crime Squad. Thanks for being here.
Take care.